I know by now you're probably tired of hearing about what happened between Bravo and Kenya Moore of the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk are coming out with an update in regards to was Kenya fired or not. But LoveyScott.com has an exclusive that with Kenya leaving the Real Housewives of Atlanta, who will replace her? Well, apparently, Cynthia Bailey has been filming a lot more than she had signed on for, and now Phaedra is back in the mix. And it's Phaedra confirming their story.
Here we go now.
Welcome back to the Kempire channel, your number one source for pop culture news and music, entertainment, reality TV, and so much more. As always, be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on breaking news when we go live or when we upload. So if you are going to be in Nashville, I'll be there this Thursday at City Winery. Go get your tickets for the Kempire After Dark, a live experience. We're going to be talking about some of this Real Housewives of Atlanta stuff. We'll be talking about Real Housewives of Orange County. We'll be talking about some of the hot topics that are in the news. And there are meet and greets available. And if you're in Atlanta, I'll be in Atlanta the very next day. Get your tickets. More information will be available in the description. So as you know, we've been covering this Kenya Moore story ever since it unfolded. And there's been so much mixed information and such vitriol behind this information. I know people have their feelings and their faves when it comes to the show. I'm just here to let you know what the rumors are. And I have to emphasize that these are rumors. Bravo has never come out and confirmed or denied, and they never will. In this world of entertainment, they will never say this person was fired. They will say the contract wasn't renewed. They won't even say that most of the time. Most of the time, it's usually like, oh, we both decided to part ways. So there's been a lot of mixed information. What we will say is that Entertainment Tonight was a very close source to Bravo, confirmed that Kenya was suspended indefinitely and may not return for the rest of season 16. Then LoveyScott.com came out and said that she was actually fired. Remember, they said that she was fired. And I'm just going to remind you a little bit because I know it's been maybe like a week or two since we reported on this story. So I just want to remind you what was said in that original story. They said, as it turns out, production found that Kenya's actions violated their, quote, code of conduct, which a lot of you found to be laughable. But I reminded you that their new policies were put in place after the Bethany Frankel reality TV reckoning. They said that, in according to their source, Bravo never accused Kenya of revenge P. They said that was never what the investigation was about. A third source close to production tells LoveyScott.com. It was about determining if Kenya's actions involving explicit images violated the code of conduct, and they did. She can point fingers all she wants, but she has nobody to blame but herself. So this is an important part of the story that we have to mention because our friends over at the Neighborhood Talk are reporting in their exclusive. They said sources close to Bravo claim Kenya hasn't been fired and the network hasn't officially accused her of revenge P. So they said, neighbors, it's no secret that just about everyone was shocked when we heard the news that RHOA alumna Kenya Moore was suspended from filming season 16 due to alleged revenge P. They said RHOA newbie Brittany Edie took to Instagram to accuse Kenya of showcasing explicit images of her. In a caption, she wrote, "Revenge P is never okay." Stories spread like wildfire that Kenya had been fired, but sources close to the network tell us that they have paused filming with Kenya while things are sorted out. We can assure you she hasn't been fired. Bravo nor any official source has ever said that she committed revenge P. Our sources stated Brittany was the one who put that in her stories. I will say this. Brittany did put it in her stories and then removed it. And I believe Bravo probably told her to remove it because of the legal complications of that. But the revenge stories were coming out before I even saw Brittany take to social media to even address the situation. It already was, people were saying this. Remember, MediaTakeout.com were the first to report this, even before Brittany addressed it on her social media. They said there have been new rumors that these allegations have affected Kenya's business partnership with the beauty supply store, such as Sally's. However, that information could not be confirmed. We told you in our coverage of that story, Sally's literally in this alleged leaked email. Again, I have to say it's alleged. We cannot confirm that email that was sent to employees is actually real. But even within that, it didn't state that this was the reason why Kenya Moore hair care products were going to be discontinued by the end of this year, because a lot of you just read headlines and you don't listen to a full story. They're saying, yes, it's still available on their website right now, but they're saying by the end of 2024, once they get rid of all of the Kenya Moore hair care products, it will no longer be at Sally's Beauty. But some of you also said, we no longer go to Sally's Beauty, so whatever. But Kenya Moore hair care is available at CVS. All right. So we had that story, but then if you remember in the original story that LovelyScott.com had reported, they mentioned that both Sheree Whitfield, then she also did that whole, TMZ showing up at Whole Foods in Atlanta. And then she tried to shade Brittany Edie and try and get involved in the mess, probably to secure her spot. But LovelyScott.com mentioned that Phaedra was still being considered to return and possibly bring her for the girls' trip that they take internationally. Well, it looks like Bravo's working overtime, because I said if Kenya comes back, it's because they are desperate to make this season work. And they did not need this hiccup, because the Portia situation is a mess for them. This is not what they signed up for. The newbies are, the newbies, because they don't know if fans are going to like them or not. And now this whole Kenya Moore situation. So Phaedra has been in conversation. She has a good relationship with the network. As you know, Phaedra didn't necessarily have favor with the network for many, many years, but they've been slowly trying to incorporate her from Ultimate Girls Trip to The Traders and, of course, Married to Medicine. She just finished filming Married to Medicine, her second season with Married to Medicine. And now they're saying possibly that is causing a conflict in regards to her contract in her return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta, but they're trying to make it happen. So LovelyScott.com says that that the powers that be are working hard to negotiate Phaedra Parks' return to the Real Housewives of Atlanta amid an unexpected suspension, then firing, in reference to Kenya Moore. They said everyone was hopeful that Phaedra's contract would be negotiated in time for her to attend Cynthia Bailey's event at Lake Bailey this past weekend, which you probably saw on social media photos from that, but they're still trying to work out some details. They said the biggest hangup, they're told, is Phaedra's current contract with Married to Medicine. And I know you're probably thinking, well, it's the same network. Well, still, it's contract. And I'm sure Phaedra, being an attorney, is trying to get top dollar, because she's like, oh, but you guys need me, so I want a lot of money. And you may recall, I believe it was Carlos King who had this exclusive, saying that they wanted to bring Phaedra back to Real Housewives of Atlanta before Married to Medicine, but it wasn't in their budget. That's when they had Kenya. That's when they had Candy. They had a lot of people making a lot of money. But now with Kenya out and just Portia, they might be able to do it. And who knows? Yesterday's price is not today's price. So they said the biggest hangup has to do with Phaedra's contract with Married to Medicine. They said, as you may have seen, Phaedra appeared alongside Portia Williams on the Watch What Happens Live 15th anniversary special, and their chemistry won over viewers. They said, we're told the positive reception to the Frickin' Frack reunion is only adding to the desire for Phaedra's return. And I'm not surprised that they intentionally included Phaedra and Portia, a part of that 15th anniversary, to test the waters. And before I forget, I had to mention to you guys that Phaedra looks like she might be responding to LovelyScott.com's exclusive that she might be returning, because Phaedra literally posted only a couple hours after the news broke last night a photo of her getting glam, and she captioned that photos by saying, "I stay ready so I never have to get ready." And she has the movie emoji, the movie, action emoji, along with a soda or drink emoji. And in the photo, she's highlighting a Coca-Cola can. Look, we could be just reading into this. However, Phaedra knows what she's doing, and she wants everyone to get excited and to react, because I'm sure she's in the middle of contract negotiations. Look, and I've seen mixed reactions. Some people are like, I don't want to see Phaedra again. Some people are saying, I do want to see Phaedra again. They said, speaking of Cynthia Bailey, their sources say that she's been filming more and more scenes in recent weeks, way more than she originally agreed to film as a friend of the show. And Cynthia is always more than willing. And look, I wouldn't be surprised if Cynthia might be interested in that full-time spot, full-time money. They need the whole Phaedra part of it. They're desperate to make sure that the season is a success. who knows? There might be a lot of things going on with Cynthia. I know Cynthia is loving the friend of aspect because they're not into her business life, but we know Cynthia loves to be in love. I wouldn't be surprised that Cynthia's dating. Is she willing to share more of that? They said it's unclear if Cynthia will get promoted to a full-time housewife, but you can expect to see a lot more of her during the season 16. Honestly, even if they don't make Cynthia a full-time housewife, I like Cynthia. Cynthia actually is friends with a good portion of the women, and she's a good friend of. Let's be honest, over the years, yeah, she's been a great housewife. She's had a lot of drama, but I can see her being great as a friend of. She gets along with everyone. She can stir the pot. She can be shady, but she's that good middleman, that aspect, that energy that we liked about Kandi. And I know a lot of people are like, oh, Cynthia's boring, but Cynthia's personality is necessary. You can't have everyone being ready to turn up. But Cynthia has, over the years, come on, let's not take away from, don't have short-term memories. Cynthia has turned up, in her confessionals and during the season. And she gave us Peter Thomas. Let's not forget that. I know we're probably saying to ourselves, yeah, that's why we don't want her back. Guys, as always, I want to know your thoughts and opinions on all the Real Housewives of Atlanta news that's coming out. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell. And if you're in Nashville or Atlanta on Thursday and Friday, get your tickets today for the Kempire After Dark live experience. More information will be available in the description. Thanks so much for watching.
Here we go now.